I decided on choosing a self-managed project within the university. I considered other placements, however with little practical experience I wasn't confident in my application, although I did send out CVs and continue to explore other options. The magazines I applied to offered little or no placements until late summer. So when the opportunity to travel abroad and working on a filming project arose, I was keen to find out more. Marketing and PR is an option that I aspire to, so organising a filming project abroad seemed fitting to provide me with the vital experience I would need. I expressed my interest to Martin Lee, the director of the film Slovik's Homecoming, and arranged meetings to discuss the project in more detail, expected costs and the overall aims and goals of the film. I have little practical experience apart from basic skills using a camera, but that's all. CCM has offered me 1 or 2 opportunities of filming, but even then I was in a group with far more experienced people from other courses such as journalism and media production, so my little knowledge was undershadowed. My strengths lie more in the editorial side of things. However, I wanted to take on a challenge. So after considering all my current skills and my aspirations of working in PR, my role in the Iceland project should be more organisational. After a couple of meetings with the rest of the group, I was assigned the role of production manager. My role of production manager basically covered organising all aspects of the trip, from deciding the dates way back in October to the lengthy process of researching and booking flights and accommodation, fundraising from about January onwards, planning all aspects of the trip, researching locations and their availability, establishing contacts out in Iceland, sorting out the health and equipment insurance as the equipment was borrowed from the loan shop, researching booking the car hire, filling in numerous risk assessments for the individuals and all the equipment, writing a budget and trying to stick to that in the following months, basically overseeing all the practicalities of the trip. From the start of the project, there were weekly meetings with Martin and the rest of the group to discuss what research I had done, what tasks needed to be completed by the following week, and general information regarding the trip and research about Iceland, and the possible conditions that we would be filming in, and equipment, and anything that would stop filming. Also, to keep in contact, I set up a private Facebook group, as this was easy to share online documents and data concerning the project. This became very useful throughout the whole process, especially at the start when a lot of the research was links and confirmations on online booking websites. Over the Christmas break, I contacted several production companies in Iceland, some with no luck. However, a couple did reply, and I kept contact with them asking on advice on equipment, general advice on filming, possible ideal locations and coping with the unpredictable weather, and information regarding money and exchange cost. These contacts were really useful, and I continued to communicate with them in the weeks leading up to Iceland. Once in Iceland, my role differed depending on the situation. First and foremost, I was the production manager and location assistant. This meant when filming, I'd initially go out and scout locations. Then once in the prime location, my job was to keep a written record of all the footage that was filmed, who, where, when and what. This was so Marty could keep a record of what was left to film, since he had a very clear vision of what he wanted. Some of the filming was done randomly, which gave me a brilliant hands-on experience of filming, however most of it was pre-planned. I was also supposed to be acting stunt woman for one of the final scenes filmed underwater, however my life-saving skills weren't necessary. On some of the night shoots, I was put in charge of lighting. This involved being part of the team making the film. I was given an SLR camera and told to take continuous photos so that the flash lit the shot and the frame featuring the main actors. I enjoyed this job. I felt totally involved in the project. I know that planning and organising is a pretty big deal. Once out in Iceland, I felt my role came quite minor compared to some of the others, and involved a lot of checking things out, standing around waiting, planning the next stages, but still just waiting around for the camera crew and the actors. So when I got the job of lighting, I was really pleased. I had a job to do and I didn't want to let anyone down by taking dodgy photos or not providing continuous flow light that would massively affect the quality of the scene. As a group, I conclude that we worked very well professionally and everyone did their job to the best of their abilities. I feel my teamwork skills excelled here. However, I could have been more patient with some of the group members at times. As one of the production managers, I was totally comfortable with this role and enjoyed planning and researching all aspects of the trip. The only part of the trip that fazed me was actually booking the flights and accommodation and putting my name on it, as if anything went wrong it would be my responsibility to fix it. About a week before we flew out to Iceland, it hit me: if this all goes horribly wrong, how will I cope? What will I do? I recall talking to friends about this and joking about extreme situations, but it did worry me a little. However, those worries came and went. But once out in Iceland, I totally embraced the role of taking on the lead and dealing with all the check-ins and issues that occurred. I now feel confident dealing with any situation and coping well with many important responsibilities and keeping calm and patient in stressful situations. Highlights of the project have to be experiencing the culture and lifestyle in Reykjavik, witnessing some of the most beautiful natural sights when travelling around Iceland, and finally seeing the Northern Lights 3 times. To conclude, I honestly wasn't sure what to expect from Iceland, but it was an amazing experience and I now hope to work in PR and marketing. This is definitely a career path I'm willing to explore further and hope to gain more experience working in this area of the media over summer. So organising such an important project gave me the valid experience and insight into the processes and stresses involved in organising such a big project. I'm now aware of the timescale and all the key developments to make for a successful film. Furthermore, it was my first professional practical filming project I've worked on and gave me an insight into the vital stages of planning a long-term filming project. I'm also more aware of the detail that goes into filming, for instance, from the basics of location spotting to the specific details that goes into framing a single shot, worrying over the foreground, the background, the sounds, the different angles, whilst dealing with unplanned practicalities in a busy city and working against the weather most of the time. As for my practical skills, I feel I have massively improved. I've developed a new understanding and appreciation for filming and the technical side and processes that takes place when making a film, even on a small scale. This will benefit me in the future as I have a clear idea of the time scale and the individual stages that accumulate to produce a successful film. All the preparation and organised plans were very successful, meaning there was no complications, making life much easier for the director and the rest of the group, plus the hands-on experience of helping out with filming has been valid for me too and will benefit me as I now have a much better idea of the timing and the cautions that need to be in place before filming. Overall, I have learnt that communication, patience and teamwork is necessary to being a good project leader. I feel I have all these qualities and can confidently arrange and organise any project, big or small now, without any worries. I can deal with situations that occur calmly and swiftly at the time. All the months of hard work paid off as there was no major problem with any of the plans and bookings were successful. Iceland was an amazing experience for me. I wasn't sure what to expect, but it was amazing. It also gave me insight and much needed work experience so that I can confidently apply to future work placements within PR and marketing to better my career.